Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this fine Monday evening. Sorry I wasn't about this morning. I had the hangover of all hangovers, as as you might expect, to be honest. Yeah, it was a friggin' brilliant night last night. Absolutely great night last night, and the best team won. As I say, and it was great to see Donald Trump scoring. But anyway, back to the Celtic news. Just back to the Celtic news this evening. There's a bit of news that came around today. Celtic are just about to receive a bid for Dyson Maeda. Dyson Maeda, looks like the first bid is incoming. Ipswich have begun talks. It was spoken about earlier today. We all know that Dyson's going to leave Celtic. We all know that Dyson wants away from Celtic. And just to top it off today, there's reports coming out of London that Arne Engels is wanted by Tottenham. Now that one's been doing the rounds for quite a while, and I think it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time when Spurs come calling for Arne Engels. If Celtic do get the 15 to 20 million that they want for Dyson Maeda, say they get the 20 million in total, and then they get 25 million for Arne Engels. There's 45 million pounds coming into the club this summer. Surely Celtic should be going out and spending some serious money. Man, we'll wait and see. I'm not too sure about Celtic's summer transfer policy. But anyway, let's jump into the comments and see what you're saying this evening. I wish they'd hurry up and sell him. We all know what's stopping them buying more players. It's shocking. It says Johnny. And Tony says, how are you, Baz? How are you, mate? If Nicholson wants an Enrich, the queue people. There is another bit of news come out from the Green Brigade, the North Curve Celtic. I wonder if the boys will join in the North Curve Celtic, or if they'll be a separate organisation. It's going to be an interesting one when you look at the statement that the Green Brigade have put out this afternoon. Green Brigade statement says the Green Brigade echoes the concerns of the Celtic Supporters Association and reiterates our long-standing call for meaningful change within the Celtic FC hierarchy. Michael Nicholson and Chris Mackay have repeatedly demonstrated their inability to fulfil the responsibilities of their roles. They have also proven that they do not possess the strength of character to hold Dermot Desmond to account for the direction of the club. It's directors that should be pushing the direction of the club. It shows that these people are weak people, allowing Dermot Desmond to have such a strong say in what goes on. Well, the record in Football Matters is sufficient to merit their removal. While the record on Football Matters is sufficient to merit their removal, we cannot overlook the continued ill treatment of supporters following the unprecedented 5-month suspension of 250 Celtic supporters last season, which was eventually revoked alongside compensation for those affected. The club has resuspended 2 members of the Green Brigade. The suspension is heavily driven by Mark Hargreaves, with the consent of Nicholson and Mackay, as part of a petty and vindictive campaign of harassment against the Green Brigade. This falls against the backdrop of continued empty promises from the Celtic board to engage with the supporters, improve communication channels. The only consistent communication supporters receive are marketing and merchandise campaigns designed to extract more of our cash while reinvesting little in the team or infrastructure of the club. No supporter wants to see further division between the club and its fans. However, without meaningful change in the boardroom, that division will only deepen. If Nicholson and Mackay refuse to resign, we call on the Celtic board to remove them. Further unrest becomes inevitable. Before further unrest becomes inevitable. Until these changes happen, we encourage all supporters to commit to not another penny and support the Celtic fans collective. How do you feel about that? Mo says that the Green Brigade are as bad as the Tate brothers. Boo. No. Hangover, fair enough, mate. Good on you. Yeah, it was. It was. I've got to be honest. It was every time that Spain scored, there was free shots from the restaurant that we were at, and then it was free shots after the win. So yeah, it was a fantastic night held last night. Joseph Davidson says, "What's happening to the players that are leaving? Why is it taking so long for bids to come in?" Well, there's a bid on its way in from Ipswich Town. Ipswich have spoken to Celtic, and it's believed that Celtic are waiting on a formal offer. Ipswich Town have held talks with the Celtic forward Daizen Maeda. It's understood that the clubs discussed the conditions of a possible deal, and the Celtic are waiting on a formal offer to come into the club. Anyway, when you look at what's going on at Celtic, there's very little happening in the way of transfers. People are upset about the level of the players that they've been linked with. I know Stephen's he's going on about 255 games, 15 goals, 22 assists. That's dreadful for a winger, says Stephen. Martin O'Neill, I mean, I don't know what was the stats for Daizen Maeda before he came to Celtic. I don't think that there's many people that are prolific before they do come to Celtic. I don't think that Martin O'Neill knows how to pick a player, and Martin, we do have to trust this season going forward because he is the manager of the club, and he is the man. He is the man to take us forward over the course of the season. And Anthony Joseph has just posted the Celtic that the Egypt winger. Yeah, I told you that this afternoon. Anyway, rest in peace, Kevin Keegan. Has Kevin Keegan passed away? Wow, I didn't know that. The legend that was Kevin Keegan has passed away today. Died at the age of 75 after his battle with cancer. A fantastic player, Kevin Keegan, but I think he was more known in his later managerial career for wanting to really love it if he got one over Manchester United. So rest in peace, Kevin Keegan. And Liverpool Football Club announced it this afternoon in memory of Kevin Keegan. And there we go. We move on. It's all about Celtic. The problem with stats that if he's in a weak team, the stats will not be good. If they're in a top team, stats are better. My old teacher says there are lies, and statistics. Yeah, exactly, mate. The statistics of Wilfred Nancy says that he should have been a good manager, but we move on. If Camilo keeps scoring, we will see him before the window shuts. If Camilo keeps scoring, will we see him before the window shuts? See who? Camilo. We've already seen him. Going to the AC Milan game, notice sold out nearly, even though hardly any fan atmosphere. I enjoyed the Boro game. There you go. It'll be interesting to see how, because there are a lot of people calling for a boycott of the AC Milan game. It will be interesting to see if no, Paul Baird for one. Paul Baird's in Scotland this weekend, and he's boycotting the game at Celtic. Just there you go. Duran is the replacement. Do you think that Duran's the replacement for Dyson Maeda? I don't think so. I think Duran is the striker that we've been calling out for. I think he's the number one striker. I don't think that he's going to be the winger. I do think that the Egyptian player will be the replacement for Dyson Maeda, unfortunately. Paul says, take your point, Ari starts on Hassan, but if he comes in, give him a clean slate. Yeah. There's no point in getting upset. People are getting upset about players that we're being linked with. People are being upset about the lack of players that we're linked with. And then when we're linked with players, the players aren't good enough. No one complained about Dyson Maeda and Kyogo Furuhashi when we never heard of them before. But it is what it is with Celtic fans just now. We move on from that. That's what they said. They're trying to tell us that it's his replacement, like we didn't already need him. Yeah, we need him, but it is one of those things, isn't it? James Forrest has been on a diet. I told you that when I was in Portugal. James Forrest is looking slim and trim. He's looking like he's going for he looks like the running man. Do you know, he's lost a lot of the bulkiness, and it looks like he's going into the last seat. And fair play to James Forrest. Do you know, I think that your last season in football, you want to be the fittest you can. You want to go out on a high, and I think that James Forrest is when, do you know what? I need to lose. I don't know. I think he's maybe lost about half a stone. I don't know. I'm not that way inclined, so I couldn't tell you exactly what he's lost. But he's lost a bit of weight, and it looks as if he's going purely for speed. Goals and assists are the only two components. Much more goes into playing the bloody game. Yeah, I'm going to jump through the comments. Al Nasir are doing a training camp in Portugal. Well, there you go. Who are we expecting from Celtic to go to them? I heard Desmond has lined up 2 signings. Jedward, that's a bad one. A lot of people saying rest in peace to Kevin Keegan. Kevin Keegan, cancer's an absolute shit thing. And I don't know what kind of cancer he had, but guys, go to the doctors and get them to give you a blood test and just get a checkup. If you're over 50, just say you want a blood test. You can get it. You should be getting one yearly. And here you get a pooper scooper. You get a pooper scooper yearly. So I would say to everyone on the channel, if you haven't been checked recently, just go and get it done. Get checked up. Get checked up before there's any symptoms. It's better to be ahead of the game than be told that you've got cancer and you're pretty much fucked. Just putting it out there. My dad had prostate. My dad went into hospital in 2019, and he's still around and living and healthy as anything. So it doesn't matter what age you are. If you can catch it early enough, and my dad caught it early enough. You know, he just went for it was a routine blood test, and it came up that they wanted to do a little bit more checks. So guys, if you're over 50, get checked up. Honestly, it's worth it. It's worth it for your own sake of mind. And I know that you don't like going to doctors. I know that you're a big man and you're like, oh, fuck that. It's just fuck. I'll be all right, mate. I'll be all right. You'll not be all right. Trust me. You'll not be all right. If you go to the doctors and you get checked up and there's nothing there, there's nothing there. You're fine. But if you don't get checked up and there is something there, don't know. So there, guys, please go and get checked up. It's one thing that I'm glad that I stay in a place that we get our shit tested every year, and we get blood tests every year as well. Anyway, my foots were Patrick Keegan's. There we go. Ipswich are in the Premier. That's what Dyson wants. Yes, this is true. It's what Dyson wants, and that's why they're the first team. They're just trying to jump the gun. They're just trying to jump the gun with any other team. Super Chat has come in this evening. Thank you to John, the truck driving legend, coming out of the Kingdom of Fife. There we go. There he is. He says, evening bad from God's country. I've done filming, sorry. I've been on for ages, been mega busy at work. Don't worry about that, mate. You know that you're rather busy. Anyhow, I wonder if Nicholson has arrived from cloud delusional land yet and found his mobile phone. Well, he must have found it today because he seems to find the phone when clubs are phoning up and asking for details on giving Celtic cash. Although that wasn't the case last year when Birmingham were trying to give Celtic £3 million for Yang. Just imagine we could have had Yang. Bollock Washer stats look good means F all. Mate, I'm got to say, Bollock Washer, or Ballock Washer as he's known, he was actually a fine player, and he was a goal scorer. I think that when people come to Celtic, I think that it does come down to the manager. It comes down to the type of formation that teams play. Comes with the other players round about them. I mean, Balak Wisher cannot have been such a good goal scorer for Celtic to go, yeah, he can score goals, which he did. And then he comes to Celtic and the manager's like, nah, mate, you're actually shite. John says, sorry, but God country is Cowdenbeath, not the Toon. Oh, we're going to have a Cowdenbeath and Tooney fight-off on the A92. John, the truck driving legend's going to come along and he's going to just drive all over John's 4x4 that he takes to work. Sorry, John, but the HGV will win every day. Let's face it, at the moment, Martin O'Neill is the board's whipping boy. Might have a drink with Express, yes. Rod Stewart on a free, anyone? I wouldn't take Rod Stewart if you passed. Paddy Burns says, please, Celtic fans, do not go on Saturday. Should you go on Saturday or should you boycott the game? I mean, it is given extra bit of cash into Celtic. It is putting a little bit of money into the club, but it's not really. The club's got your season ticket money, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Sad indictment of the club that our best winger is James Forrest. Is that a sad indictment on the club, or is it? Is that not a bit of a get at James Forrest? Because James Forrest has had he's had his injuries over the years, but when you look at the pace that he has as a winger, and you look at his fitness, and you look at the shape of him, and the fact that he's looked after himself for his full career at Celtic, I think it should be a case of we should be applauding the fact that James Forrest has longevity. There's not many players have the longevity. Listen, there's a lot of players that would love to have stayed at Celtic their whole career, but decided to move for financial reasons and then went into a football wilderness. So I'm for one, I'm not going to slate James Forrest, not one bit, not in his last year. I think it's absolutely fantastic that the physicality and the physical shape that James Forrest is in. Haven't seen him up close and personal just a week yesterday. No, tomorrow. It's Monday today. The club are now embarrassing the fans and the players. Whether you support the board or not, it's a bad state of affairs. We are approaching the club's history. Luke McCowan is never Celtic starter. He needs therefore replace him. Yeah. 3 weeks for the Champions League registration. Don't even talk to me about that. I'm not even thinking about that yet. No point in panicking until the window ends. Should be used to this because it happens every year. We'll have loads soon for a season. Yeah, well, I'm not expecting too much of a transfer window, to be honest, because I think that when you look at Martin O'Neill's only in for one season, I don't know why fans are getting overly excited that Martin O'Neill's going to build a squad that will have longevity for years to come. Martin O'Neill's only here for 1 year. His only concern is this season. He doesn't care what happens to Celtic after that. Well, you say he does, but the reality is he wants to come on and prove to himself, prove to his peers that he still has a bit of a football brain in him, and that older managers should never be left out and brought in for this new style of football. I hope Martin O'Neill just overruns some of the stats guys and some of the modern play and just gets down to good old football. But we'll wait and see. I take Kyogo back. Jim, you want to get banned for the channel with that chat, mate. I take Kyogo back. Just crazy. Absolutely crazy. DJ Kev's had stomach cancer. Oof, mate, that's a bad one. You can't get seen these days. Our company Baz is doing free blood tests for prostate issues throughout the company. That's fantastic, mate. That is fantastic. That's really good. Glad for that. My dad died for that, says Tarmac. Yeah, I think my dad was really lucky. Don't know. He did get caught. He got caught really early because we've got a lot of history of cancer in our family. My dad had prostate cancer and brain tumor. Woofed. Better rich in health as wealth, as my old grandpa would say. Yes, it could save your life. Yeah, Helen, it could. And it's. I'm going to jump forward for the comments because there are a lot of people talking about the cancer situation. James got his goal against Dundee. Ox is technically gifted. All aboard the Hoch train. As long as there's no Willie Hoch, eh? Wonder what happened to him. I wonder what our selling point to the players is. Yes, if we can punt you next season, Pablo. That's been one of the biggest selling points for Celtic for a while. We'll bring you in. You can do fantastically well in the Champions League. You have the chance to elevate your career, hopefully play Champions League football, get seen on the bigger stage, and we'll be able to move you on for a profit, and you'll get an even bigger wage rise in 50. Nico Kuhn admitted it to Celtic to Celtic fans when he left. He said that he was told that it wasn't going to even be 2 years. He was told, 15, 18 months, 2 years maximum that he would be at the club before Celtic wanted to sell him on. So there we go. The board are going to use Martin O'Neill as a punch bag for the fans because they know no one will throw a punch at him. Very sneaky of the board. Yeah, I think so. The board don't even care about any season. Never mind this one. Not a problem with Forrest as an impact sub, but him being first option isn't great. Our wingers aren't good enough, especially if Maeda goes. Listen, Tenecti's been on holiday. Calm down, people. Calm down. We've had a couple of pre-season games and we've got players that are out on the been out for the World Cup. Yang's been away for the World Cup. Tenecti has been away for the World Cup. That's why James Forrest is starting. It's not some egotistic plan to make sure that James Forrest plays every game, and just to stick two fingers up to the fans and go, hey, we've got James Forrest, we'll fucking piss them, right? That's all that we've got. Look at the squad that we've had. Look at the squads that we've had in the pre-season games. People are getting really, really upset about the fact that, that James Forrest has been starting these games. Who else would we start? Should we just put the young boys on and leave James Forrest on the bench? When the young boys the young team aren't even going to be in the squads for the season. So you've got to get James the game time early pre-season to get him right up there and ready. Because once Yang comes back, once Tenecti comes back, they'll be in before James Forrest. Time we get in another couple of players, James Forrest could be third or fourth down the line. So I think people are getting a little bit up. Everything's really. I'm glad I didn't come on this morning. I don't think my hangover this morning could have coped with the negativity. The board are going to use Martin O'Neill as a punch bag. That's an interesting one. Better with potted hoch, especially on toast. Boom, boom. The younger player on the right looked good and strong. Didn't get many passes. Kalmack lost the ball twice. Kalmack's ball control and everything is It's not been good this pre-season. I've as I lost my dad through cancer. Oh, feel for you, Paddy. Stephen says it'll be interesting to see who we get as manager next season. Let's get this season over the line. Maybe Maloney if we do well. I can't see a reputable manager coming to us with Dermot Desmond to answer to. Well, we've had Ange Postecoglou came to Celtic. Celtic are still can be a big pull for managers. Let's not. I know that everyone's feeling really pissed off and down about the club at the moment, but let's not go into the territory of thinking that we're as bad as the Huns. We're not. Let's not go into the territory of letting them think that they're better than us. They're not. Tonight is a poor man's button. Oh, Jesus. With so many rumours to leave, the links are awfully quiet. I'm glad that links to players coming in are quiet because it means that the club are doing things in the background and the fan media and mainstream media are not getting to hear a thing about it. That's the way it should be. When it gets links leaked 2-3 weeks before, it happens every summer. I said at the beginning of this summer, in the transfer window and stuff, I said I wasn't going to do a video for every single player that was linked with us, because or coming back, because it's never going to be done until the deal is almost done. But anyway, Hatate was disgraced the other day. Lazy bar steward. Ooh. Tonight is a poor man's Mikey Johnston. Oh, come on, leave Mikey Johnston about. You chased him out the club. That is a waste of wage lately. Sooner he leaves, the better. Yes, this is very true. Edward, COVID season vibes. God almighty. I'm going to flip through these and I'm not staying much longer. I've got 4 minutes to go. As I say, the Saudi window opens on Wednesday. McGregor will be done in the next few weeks. I don't think so. I think McGregor will stay here. Danny Cassie, he lost his dad to cancer as well. There's quite a lot. You see, guys, go and get checked. I mean it. Just ask the doctor for a blood test. Just go to phone up the doctors and say, look, I'm of an age, and I want to get a blood test done. Or if you can't do the blood test, send me out the pooper scooper, and then just get the wee spoon and dig it into your shite and put it in the wee tub and take it back down to the doctors and hand it in, and then they'll give you your test results. Honestly, there was so many of you saying that you've lost your dads to cancer. Just go and get this easy test done. It's a non-invasive test. But anyway, let me just see. That's that one again. I see. Right, 50% of us will die of cancer. It's a sad fact. Never used to be as much as that, but anyway. I know the cat of McGregor's postman. He's telling me he's leaving. Oh, don't start that nonsense tonight again. Anyway, the big news tonight is Tottenham Hotspur are expected to put in a bid for Arnie Engels as they look to replace a midfielder that they're selling for way more money, and they've got plenty of money to play with. Ipswich Town have spoken to Celtic about Dyson Maeda, as Celtic are in talks to bring another winger to the club who is and will be the direct replacement for Dyson Maeda. And people are a bit upset about his stats, saying that he's not as good. John says the poop test has changed to every 2 years now, Baz. Oof. Thank God I stay here in this every year. But anyway, you can still get a poop test. I hope they'll give Donovan a proper chance this season, as much as I like Rocco. I think Julian Rocco will only be brought to Celtic if Celtic receive a bid for our little Canadian. That's the only chance that Celtic will spend the money on Julian Rocco. That will be a revolving door situation. I don't think that there is any bid imminent for our little Canadian, Alistair Johnston. I think that he will be here. I mean, there's a lot of Celtic fans talking about him being a future captain at Celtic. So, I'll do a poll for that tomorrow morning. It's too far away from the weekend yet to do a poll about will we have a new signing before the Milan game. Of course we will. We will have at least one signing by the end of this week. Anyway, I deliver Frank McGarvey's milk. Still never got a scoop. There you go. Right, that's me done and dusted for this evening. My throat is still a little bit tender from last night. That's how they caught my colon cancer. It was fine. There's a bit of good news. See, Davy Forbes. Are you the DJ? There was a DJ, Davy Forbes, back in the day. He was a cracking little DJ. And that's how they caught my colon cancer. It was found in the poop test. See, guys, it works. And I hope you were treated for it pretty quick. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this morning. I'll be back tomorrow morning live at 8:30 Celtic Park time, and hopefully we might have some more news. Are you happy or nervous with the signing coming in, Baz? I says, I says, let's wait till. I'm not going to judge the transfer situation until the end of the window. There's no point. Let's just see what deals happen. Don't know. We're getting to the nitty gritty time. I know that we all want players in before the Champions League. We want players in before the season starts. 2 weeks tonight. 2 weeks tonight. The season starts, and it is what it is. I would have preferred to get someone in longer than someone in longer than Martin O'Neill, to be honest. And I made my feelings known about that last season. We've got Martin O'Neill now. We've got him for a season. We need to go on the journey for a season, and then we've got it all. So anyway, it's your duty to your family to get the test done, says Ronnie. Yeah, I'm going to leave that as the last comment because I think that is one of the best comments of the day. It's the duty to your family to get the test done, guys. So go and get your poop scoop test or go to the doctors and ask for a blood test because honestly, it will save your life. On that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. I shall see you first thing in the morning.